17 Deep Lessons from the Book, What I Wish I Knew About Love. Number 1. Love or pain due to a lack of love is a theme that runs through every person's life, molding who they are and reframing the way they view the world. Yet no one teaches us about love. We're expected to know how to swim through it when most of us can barely tread water. From the moment we're born into this world, we begin forming a bond with the people who raise us. Our first loves will always be our parents, caregivers, and siblings, and the first model of romantic love will be the relationship our parents or caregivers had with each other. The affection and care they did or didn't show significantly affects the way we experience intimacy, love, and relationships today. Sometimes those effects are healthy and model a thriving relationship where both people effectively give and show love, but other times that's not the case. Number 2. Everywhere you turn, someone is talking about how to get love. Articles are written about attracting your dream man or how to win over a woman on the first date. Books explain the secrets of changing your personality so more people like you. The emphasis always seems to be on how to get others to show their affection. Very few people talk about creating love. How? By doing the things you're passionate about most and showing your appreciation to those closest to you, you'll attract even more love into your life. Better yet, this kind of love won't be the type you have to fight for. It'll be the kind that comes naturally to you. The kind of love you always wished you had. Number 3. Humans are animals, and like any other animal baby, we gain our understanding of the world from our parents. A bird learns to fly by watching its mom flap her wings, and a human child learns to walk by observing their parents move their legs. This is the same reason why there are hilarious videos of 1-year-olds saying shit as one of their first words. They didn't think of that word out of thin air. Those babies heard their parents curse whenever they stubbed their toe or forgot to pay the bills. The same rule of babies learning from parents applies to love. The kind of love that your parents or caregivers showed for each other becomes your first example of how romantic relationships function. Unless someone drastically intervenes to change that narrative or you do it yourself, you'll most likely grow up to act the same way in your relationships as your parents did. Then there are the ways your parents interacted with you, shaping the way you can give and receive love. As a baby, you had needs, from a diaper change, to milk, to needing comfort when you were scared. Sometimes, caregivers are attentive and are there whenever you need them. Other times, they're busy working or aren't equipped with the knowledge of how to properly care for a baby, because the reality is, it doesn't come naturally for everyone. Depending on which kind of care you received, you'll either form a secure or insecure attachment with your parents according to a popular study of psychology called attachment theory. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you probably will not see us again. If you have, congratulations, you are growing every day. Number 4. People with a secure attachment are the ones who naturally thrive in relationships. They rarely get jealous, can handle their emotions well, and balance their romantic life with their social life. On the other hand, people with an insecure attachment tend to be one of two things: anxious or avoidant. Anxious people, I'm one of them, tend to be the clingy, fearful type. We worry our partner will cheat or leave us at any moment. Overthinking is our specialty. But on the flip side, the avoidantly attached types are usually the kind of people who fear commitment. They don't feel safe relying on others for emotional support, so they pull away. While it's not always the case that the way a parent raises their child leads to an insecure attachment, the chances are likely, which is why I decided to include attachment theory in this book. Most people who struggle with dating and relationships, though not all, have some sort of insecure attachment. Don't get me wrong, modern dating is hard enough on its own. Everyone's living at a fast pace and looking for the next best thing. Even secure people struggle because of the way that modern dating works. But having a less than stellar upbringing as a child will feel like other people got a 20-second head start while you were tying your shoes. Number 5. Limiting beliefs tend to hold some truth because we don't form them out of nowhere. At some point in our lives, we latched onto certain ideas because of the situations we experienced. You may believe all people will hurt you because a parent left when you were young. For me, I thought love had to be earned from my parents, and I could make sure they wouldn't change their minds if I worked hard enough. But the lie one experience tells you can end up affecting the rest of your life. That is, until you decide to do something about it. Reframing limiting beliefs about love. Limiting belief: I am broken. Reframe: I've been through pain, but so has everyone. That does not make me less lovable. Limiting belief: I'm not worthy of love. Reframe: I am worthy of beautiful things in life, including love. Limiting belief: everyone will break my heart. Reframe: someone hurt me in the past, but that does not mean everyone will. Limiting belief: being alone is scary. Reframe: being alone is a chance to make changes in my life that will bring me the happiness I desire. Limiting belief: I cannot trust people. Reframe: I will try to trust people until they give me a reason not to. Limiting belief: I must change to be worthy of love. Reframe: I know I am worthy of love and there is plenty in the world for me. Limiting belief: everyone will eventually leave. Reframe: the people meant to be in my life will stay. Limiting belief: my love is too much for people. Number 6. Change is a tall order for anyone, even more so when the pressure is coming from an external source, aka you. If you wanted your partner to change, but they didn't agree with you, it's probably the reason the change never happened. At the very least, a breakup will always be a chance to learn what you don't want in a relationship. Everything that annoyed or rubbed you the wrong way about your ex, make note of those, write them down even. Consider why you never felt comfortable in their presence. Question if you had to change part of yourself to fit their morals, standards, values, or vice versa. If you don't stop to consider what you didn't like in your past relationships, you won't know what to look for in future ones. Number 7. Imagine a food you're not fond of. How much forcing would someone have to do for you to change your mind? There probably isn't an amount because no one can magically change your distaste for a certain food. The same goes for love and whether someone feels it for you. If someone doesn't love you, you can't force them to change their mind. If they don't want to be in your life, eventually, they will make their way out of it. You can either cause yourself more distress by standing in their way or move aside to let them leave. Number 8. When a relationship ends, it's a disorienting feeling, especially if you're like me, someone who jumps feet first into their relationships. As I said, I'd start imagining my future wedding with someone before we even made it to the 3rd date. I'd get attached to people easily, maybe because I focused too much on my date's great characteristics, but most likely because I hated when I got to know someone and then they'd leave my life. If this sounds like you, a breakup might feel like you aren't sure of who you are anymore. Relationships end all the time for a variety of different reasons that are beyond anyone's control. I know it's hard to think past the pain you're feeling now, but I promise one day you'll see this turn of events as a good thing. It means new relationships are in store for your future. Refrain from automatically blaming yourself or even trying to place blame at all. You did the best you could. You opened yourself to someone new who you didn't know wouldn't be in your life for long, and that's a beautiful act of vulnerability. Number 9. We tend to romanticize relationships when we reflect on them. I've found this is even more true when lying in bed late at night. You may think your relationship was perfect, but that's your mind playing tricks on you. Every relationship has its faults. You'll need to remind yourself of that when you're missing them the most. Understanding who you are outside of a relationship will be the best gift you ever give yourself. No one can take away your identity. It's something that's unique to you and only you. Your authentic self consists of all the little bits that make you a person worthy of happiness, even when you feel like you aren't. Number 10. When you made a mistake, it's important to acknowledge what you did wrong and apologize if needed. But when you reflexively say sorry for things that don't need an apology, speaking up about your opinions, someone bumping into you, it's as if you're apologizing for your existence in this world. You aren't in charge of making others feel comfortable at your own expense. Move through the world with kindness, but also do so with integrity. Social media is a black hole for self-confidence. When you're constantly bombarded with photoshopped models and picture-perfect couples, it's almost impossible not to compare your life to those images. Besides, most of the time those people are trying to sell you on their perfect lifestyle. Of course, they want you to feel like your life isn't as good as theirs. But you can't fall into the trap of comparison if those photos aren't in your feed. Unfollow any account that makes you question how much you love your life. A constant reminder of everything you don't have compared to others would tear even the most confident person down. Number 11. Insecurities are nasty. They can keep you from creating the changes you desire most and leave you stuck in a relationship that doesn't make you happy. But until you confront your insecurities, understand where they came from, and work on getting rid of them, they'll hold you back from moving through life confidently. In short, insecurity is when you lack confidence in a certain aspect of your life. Maybe you don't feel confident about your looks, or perhaps your ability to do your job. Maybe you feel like your life is a mess or that you're a failure. Or maybe you're like I was, and you don't feel good enough for love. Whatever your insecurities may be, you probably feel like they hold you back from living your life fully. Number 12. Letting go of friendships can be one of the hardest things to do. When you've known someone for a long time, you might feel obligated to keep them in your life. But the reality is, not everyone is meant to be in your life forever. People come and go. You need to look out for your mental health first. A great rule of thumb that helps me determine if a friend is someone who I want to keep in my life is asking myself if I feel bad about myself after we spend time together or fulfilled. I had to make the difficult decision to end a college friendship of 3 years. We'd been best friends, but I'd grown out of our petty gossip and toxic dynamic. I miss her from time to time, but I know we're better off on separate paths. The best way to increase your confidence is to be your biggest fan. If you wait around for everyone else to be happy for you to the extent you want them to be, you'll be sorely disappointed. Instead, be the one who celebrates all your wins, whether they're big or small. Cheer yourself on and give yourself pep talks when you need them. Believe in yourself more than you've ever believed in anyone. You can still rely on your support system, but know you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to, and you're deserving of happiness in your life. If you can accomplish this, you'll be set for a life where your emotions feel valid, your dreams supported, and you feel like you can take on the hard times when your confidence falters. Number 13. Think about the way your dating life has gone so far. Are there any similarities between your past relationships? Do your dates usually fizzle out in the same ways? Do you keep attracting the same kind of person into your life? Someone who wouldn't make for a happy relationship? Pinpointing common themes in your romantic life can help you uncover your dating patterns. Dating patterns are the choices you make and the habits you have surrounding dating and love. Sometimes these can be good, like if you easily draw clear boundaries for how you want to be treated from the beginning of dating someone new. But other times, they can be holding you back from finding the love you want. Dating patterns exist subconsciously as beliefs and habits we collect over our lifetime. They come from experiences, our childhood, what we see in the media, and other external sources. Once a belief functions within you on a subconscious level, it can be hard to break, just like any other habit. And even when I acknowledged my dating patterns for the pain they brought into my life, it took some trial and error to rid myself of them. Like the time I told my current boyfriend, Nish, I didn't want to date anymore. Back then, I wasn't ready to date a genuinely nice person. Luckily, I realized my mistake several months later. Number 14. Don't play games. A relationship is like a house. You want to build on a solid foundation. Don't begin a relationship with someone who waits to text you back or goes silent for days. This isn't checkers. It's your love life. Be forward about your intentions. If the other person is turned off, then consider their reaction a blessing. You don't want to spend your precious time with someone who doesn't want the same things for the relationship as you. Always prioritize yourself and your needs. If you consistently stand strong in your values and needs from the people you date, then you won't feel like your boundaries have been overstepped. Check in with yourself regularly. Be honest about whether you're falling into your old dating patterns. If so, you need to decide if the relationship is worth continuing to pursue. If a decision feels hard, it's probably what needs to be done. Admitting you're ignoring your needs or falling into old ways means the solution will feel hard. That's because any type of growth will feel uncomfortable. But deep down, you know that it's the right thing to do. Number 15. This is why I don't believe in soulmates. The right person won't be perfect. They'll be the person wanting to learn the unique ways of your happiness. They'll be the one who is able to admit when they're wrong and promises to do better. The one who loves you no less even when you're the one who's wrong. Because the ability to learn, adapt, make mistakes, and grow with you throughout life will last longer than any illusion of a perfect partner you build up in your head that no one can live up to. You may believe in the idea that one day you'll come across the one, your other half, your ride or die, your soulmate, as many would say. If so, you're not alone. Many people believe in the same sentiment of there being a single person out there who is meant to be with them. Hell, even I bought into this notion of destined love. Eventually, everyone will hurt you, even if it's an accident. Your partner will most likely get on your nerves, forget to put the toilet seat down, and get in arguments with you. But the good news is, that's actually healthy. Healthy relationships are between two people who can fix issues and grow together, not people who get along perfectly. And chances are, you won't know what that kind of love will look like. Number 16. There's no, what can you do for me, but rather, what can we do for each other? Romance focuses on endlessly giving, even when it's not something the person can afford, whether that be monetarily or emotionally. Romance wants to enjoy your happiness and receive your admiration in the moment, but it doesn't want the rest. It's self-satisfying and the exact opposite of how love functions. Love is a matter of balance between two people, when giving feels just as good as receiving. I know that it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of feelings that come with romance. And by all means, please do so. There's nothing better than the rush of feelings running throughout your veins that comes with meeting someone new. But when the time comes that you're ready for lasting love, do not confuse the guise of romance for something more. While love can form out of romance, that doesn't always happen. Number 17. Being single isn't this terrible affliction brought onto you. It's not a stamp on your forehead labeling you as damaged goods. If someone talks about your singledom as this sad story, they're projecting their own fears of being alone onto you. People have all sorts of reasons for being single. Some even choose the single life voluntarily. Thinking there's something wrong with you simply because you don't have a partner is buying into the idea that your worth is determined by another person. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you probably will not see us again. If you have, congratulations, you are growing every day.